Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Possession. And this movie came out in 2012, and it just came in this Terror Times 10 collection pack, and I'm just trying to finish this up one movie at a time. And I was not a fan of this movie, unfortunately. There were some performances that I thought were okay, like the adult actors were trying, the child actors were trying. They put effort into it, it's just that as a whole, I did not care for it whatsoever, and this movie just felt like it was trying to be The Exorcist, and there's lots of similarities with that movie, but I remember liking that movie a lot better than this, and this movie just didn't have any of those elements that worked for me in The Exorcist, and that movie is really slow, and it barely uses any music, and the tension slowly builds as it progresses, and characters, like, they're just going through option after option, and they just don't know what to do with this little girl in The Exorcist, and finally they go to a priest to perform an exorcism, and that's like her last option is to like try to save her daughter, and that's really interesting. They tried to mimic that in this movie, but unfortunately it just doesn't work because it just doesn't have any of the elements that made it work so well, and everything's so rushed, and the editing in this movie is terrible. Like, there's a cut every 2 seconds, and it just feels like a trailer the entire time. And I thought some of the effects were well done, technically, and there's some cool ideas in terms of like the horror, like a demon living inside the body of this girl. Like, that's kind of cool, even if it's been done already, and just on its own, it's an alright idea. And this movie didn't just feel like The Exorcist the entire time. Once we got closer towards the third act, and during the entire third act, it kind of just felt like Evil Dead to me, and that kind of made sense to me once we got to the credits, because I discovered that Sam Raimi produced it, and he's the director of the Evil Dead trilogy, for those who don't know, and he also did the Spider-Man trilogy, Drag Me to Hell, Darkman, which I haven't seen yet, and a couple other things that I need to check out. But point is, he's a horror director, and he has experience in that, and he likes to produce a lot of horror movies to help get them off the ground, and the fact that it had like Evil Dead vibes with his name attached to it kind of made sense to me. But I should also point this out. Whenever there's a big name director, but they're not directing the movie and they're just producing it, that's usually a red flag for me, because that means it's in the hands of somebody else who's directing the movie, and I just never trust that the movie is going to turn out well. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is one of those, where Guillermo del Toro was producing it, but it was directed by somebody else. I can't remember their name, and I was not a fan of that movie, and there's a ton of other examples, but I'm not going to name them off here right now. Overall, I just didn't find any of the characters to be interesting. Our main character, he's just a dad, and he's been through a divorce, and he's just spending time with his kids, and there's a bit of a fight between him and his ex-wife as to like how his children should be handled, and there's some drama there, and I just didn't care at all. And the movie is constantly reminding you that this is a part of the story, but I just had no reason to care about any of it, and it was just wasting my time. And the plot for the movie is really stupid. It's just a demon lives in a box, and if you touch it or open it or something, I don't even remember, then the demon will possess you, and that's pretty much the plot of the movie. And I just could not get into this movie because I didn't care about anything. The music in this movie is terrible. Sometimes it feels like it's trying to imitate the main theme from Jaws at certain points, and that was really distracting, and the rest of it was just really bland and forgettable. And towards the end of the film, everyone's just fine with everyone being around each other, as if like no drama in the past has happened, and that was kind of weird. And By the end of it, I just got nothing out of it, and there was barely anything I liked about it, and it was just an hour and a half of my time that I will not be getting back. So unfortunately, I cannot recommend that you check this movie out. It's not worth it. It's not good. It's not scary. And it's kind of boring. So skip it if you ever come across it. And I'm going to give The Possession a 3 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Possession and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Haunting in Connecticut. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.